Hello, everyone. This is your host, Living Dead Cat. I'm going to be doing another stream with some art. Tonight's mental health topic will be aggression and anger, and the effects that it's had on people's mental health, and actually the fact that it's a symptom of several different mental health illnesses. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get the stream started and say hello to our guests. I've got Gray, Steven, and Chef with me. We got Kay kind of hiding in the shadows there, and that's okay. You don't have to talk this time if you don't want to. But everybody is welcome to join in the chat and to join in the conversation as I do my pixel art stuff. Alrighty. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, good
I
evening.
forget. Are we trying to keep this PG-13?
As
Yes.
much as you can, but it is an adult channel technically. But I mean, I want to be able to cater to all ages for mental health awareness and such.
I'll do my best. I'm sorry in advance. I'm gonna fail.
I'm gonna wash my mouth out with soap, Steven.
You don't have enough soap, Kay.
You don't know what I have.
Do what you can, and that's anyone can ask for.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll do my best.
There is a bit of a disclaimer, everybody, so in case you hear, dirty words, we'll have to figure out a swear jar.
Disclaimer, I swear like a sailor. I'm sorry, I will try not to.
I told you, mouth out with soap.
All proceeds will go to a mental health benefits program in the local area.
So about the 7 dirty words.
Okay. Alright, guess what? We're almost done with this section. I'm excited.
Oh boy.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do I open my thing? There it is. That's not the one I want. So, tonight's topic is aggression, anger, the different things that have caused you to, have regrets in your life or symptoms of mental health. I was informed that aggression and anger was a symptom of depression, and that's why my irritability was so high with a lot of small little things that normally wouldn't bother me. So after I started my medication and it started really working for me, I noticed that my moods have been a lot more stable with anger and irritability. I haven't lashed out at people. I haven't lost my temper hardly at all anymore, and that's been a big relief for me. So does anybody else have any stories they would like to share? Shell out? Shalom?
Nothing of me personally. I don't think I should be gossiping about my brother, but he's not here, so I should probably keep my mouth shut on that.
Well, I know my brother had anger issues when he was a lot younger, and he's pretty open about it. He grew up without a father, so he was pretty mad about that in general and took it out on a lot of people until he hurt somebody that was close to him, I think, or just started realizing what he was doing and then really worked hard on fixing that. And I think he said his kids helped. So
I don't know. I used to have some pretty gnarly anger issues. Some would say I still do, but they can, go to hell. So, I used to play games competitively as a job.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how much y'all know about that whole scene, but this was back in the early 2000s, back before streaming was a big thing. And
You would think that playing games for a living would be not very stressful.
oh god, no. Oh man. So to stay competitive, we essentially had to play like it was a full-time job. I'm talking 8 to 10 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
12 to 15 on the weekends.
Oh, man.
That was just what our team did. I'm not sure if every team does that, but if we had a tournament, it wasn't like there were huge tournaments. We had to travel to go to certain ones, and it was a lot of stress. And it's a highly competitive
Field.
field,
Yeah.
And just like sports, you get that adrenaline pumping. You get some aggression going pretty easy. It got to the point where it was affecting me outside of the gaming. Like, I would just be angry all the time.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
It was a long time ago. But yeah, I had to step away from that whole scene because it was destroying me. And I still have flare-ups sometimes, like when I'm playing like competitive games like League of Legends, PUBG, that kind of thing. You know, I can get you'll hear me kind of switch into that competitive mode.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Kay has noticed it. And it's just like very not nice is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Do you have like almost instant guilt when you catch yourself slipping into that, or how quick are you usually able to catch yourself and stop?
It depends. I wouldn't say it's like guilt. It's more just I don't want to go back down that road because you know there were times where I lost friends over it.
Oh wow.
You know, well, I mean, you can only be so toxic to people.
Yeah. Did you have any like tricks or meditation methods or anything that helped you get through it?
So I just had to step away from the whole scene completely. Like I don't do that kind of competitive gaming anymore. I will never join a competitive team again. Because it's like a drug almost. Like you get out of it, but like one hit, man, and you're back into it. So I gotta be careful playing games like PUBG and League of Legends. Like I can't play League. I get very, very toxic with League. But you know, I, like you said, depression plays a large part of it too.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you have been able to get out of that kind of mindset as a whole. And, you know, as I mentioned in one of my previous streams, sometimes a new start is the key. And you have a prime example of that right there. Getting out of that job and being able to move on to bigger and better things, hopefully. I know your current job is a bit stressful.
Yeah. Well, you know, anybody looking to go into that field, I highly recommend reconsidering, because it will. I don't know if it's the same as it used to be, but for me, it ruined a competitive game for me. I just get sick when I start getting into that mindset, and it just, you know, I gotta take a step back, and it's just, I don't recommend it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else have any stories? Any excerpts or ways that they were able to get over their aggression, or things that they were able to look at themselves for?
Oh, fun antidote, by the way. Taking out your aggression on a garage door, like the door from the garage into a house, with your fist, not a good solution. Don't recommend that either. You just wind up with a broken fist, a dented door, and pissed off friends.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. It does not feel good.
Got it.
Yeah.
Good life lessons.
Gray, do you have anything to share?
No real stories that I should share, if I can put it that way.
Okay. Well, if there's no pressure or anything like that, and we don't judge.
I will say Napalm Death got me through a lot of anger.
And for our viewers that are not familiar, what are you referring to?
That is a British thrash death metal band that has somehow managed to hit that one nerve to calm me from time to time.
Mm-hmm. And I find it interesting. A lot of people who suffer from mental health issues and things end up going towards, the more cacophonic sounds in music, like industrial metal, death metal, all these different, almost aggressive songs that help get the anger out and to get you out of that mindset into something else.
I wonder if that has to do with, like, feeling kind of outcast and then, that being kind of like your fringe group. A lot of people with anger issues don't feel like they really belong because of that anger. And I wonder if that, being part of that fringe.
Maybe.
That would explain my brother.
That is a good possibility.
He has no real group to call his own. He only knows a couple of people, and he hates life in general.
Well, have him come here. He's welcome here.
Yeah, I don't think this is quite his style of community. Hey,
Well,
I don't know why I want to say this in this room, but he's almost the perfect poster child for Christianity. Not conservative Christianity, but still.
There's nothing wrong with being Christian.
No. I just didn't want to say anything too triggering in this room.
Yeah.
I'm triggered. How dare you?
Box is, let us off the box, hail Satan.
Oh. All right. So, with anger and aggression, I grew up with a lot of angry people in my life. People who would belittle, berate, bully, you name it. And I feared that I would take a lot of that with me into my future and as an adult. And there have been moments where I caught myself sounding just like, my mother or my dad when they raged or yelled and screamed. And not saying that they still do that. Mom is no longer with us, and my dad has since gotten plenty of treatment and whatnot for PTSD, which caused a lot of his raging and aggression. That will be a special episode at one point. I will be going to interview him for his PTSD.
Nice.
History, and it's not going to be easy. But
but it has the opportunity for everyone to learn a lot.
Yeah, I do want to do a PTSD episode just once. I know it's very difficult for a lot of people to talk about it, but I already have 2 volunteers, so that's a start.
Yeah, PTSD's
So, yeah.
no joke. I got a bunch of military friends that suffer from it, and I wish there was more we could do for people with PTSD.
Yeah, agreed. There's some people who are able to openly talk about it, and some people who just kind of slip into this darkness even just thinking about it and dredging it back up, that have spent like 20 years trying to get rid of it. And my dad falls under that category. So he has been very willing, not very willing, but very kind to open that part of his life up to me. Because he's hid it for so long, and when I asked him about it, it's just the tone of the conversation just tanked. So I now understand and have a lot more respect for the damage it did to him and what he's had to deal with all this time. Not to kill the mood.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's definitely a sensitive subject for some people.
Well, this entire deal is kind of sensitive subject, no matter how you put it.
It's true.
Which I am saying we're trying not to be too triggering, but if we don't explore it as adults, what hope do we have to learn something new?
This is
That's
true.
just it, though, being triggered isn't necessarily a bad thing, at least in
That
discussion.
was good.
You know, you can't really overcome something until you face it. You
I
can't
like
really
that.
understand something
Yeah.
until you face it either. I mean,
I like that.
Yeah, and for some, it's nearly impossible to face, and I can respect that. Some things are very difficult, but
no, it's I don't know. On the whole trigger thing, I've always believed that people need a support base, and then they need to eventually face what triggers them.
yeah.
But I think having that support base first is the biggest thing.
Oh, definitely. I totally agree with that. Not just, a single friend or family member to talk to, not just a therapist or psychologist, not just, a group of people, but knowing, like, completely that you are supported, knowing completely you're not being judged, and that they will be with you during those difficult times in whatever way they can. And even just planning scenarios where you can be with that group of people and face those difficult times or difficult, decisions in life that do cause triggering moments, and just being in those scenarios is, I think, paramount to healing on a lot of these. Panther was dealing with a pretty strong agoraphobia issue, and was working with Peach, myself, and other people to get him past that so that he could come down to visit me, which I was ridiculously proud of him for that to begin with. But it really touched me that he would be willing to face and overcome that fear so much just to come see me.
Yeah.
What about your thoughts on the effects that aggression has on other people in general?
So it really depends on the person. I think of aggression and anger and rage. Like, a little bit of aggression is not a bad thing. It's when you let the aggression and anger really control you that it becomes a problem. Because everybody's going to be a little bit aggressive, and that's fine. I mean, you got to be aggressive in your workplace. You got to be aggressive in your day-to-day life. But once you cross that line into where it becomes more, it becomes kind of just your reason d'etre, your kind of just core of your being, that it becomes a poison to everybody around you. Because either you're going to hurt them with your aggression by lashing out, you're going to say something that really just devastates them because they trust you.
Yeah.
Or it's going to cause them to devalue themselves, like, did I cause them to get angry? Was this my fault? Or it's going to make them angry. Like, it affects people around you in different ways, but in every way, in my opinion, it's like a poison.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I dealt with a lot of anger towards me in the form of many different things. There was physical aggression and violence. There was verbal abuse, emotional abuse, those kinds of things. And I think over the years that really did add up to some, like, reasons for my problems. My PTSD, I was told, that was primarily from decades of abuse. And my fear of confrontation, is such a triggering thing for me that I will that I would usually just submit to whatever's going on and let it happen and just be done with it. Like, if I ever got into an argument with somebody, I would pretty much just let them win just so I could get out of it. And it ended up becoming a point of they would continue to do that in order to get their way because they knew I would just back down.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I can see.
Okay, that's actually kind of what my mom is dealing with right now. So now, Doug's aggression and incessant need to win is basically what has killed their relationship. And
Yeah.
he went through a 3-day barrage over the stupidest goddamn thing. This is why they're currently separated. You know? His aggression has left scars on me, my mother, and other people in the family.
And it hurts when it's somebody you think you can trust.
And it's left me with some serious resentment.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been several abusive relationships in my mother's history that directly affected me, whether with physical abuse or towards me or her. And growing up witnessing and hearing those kind of fights and arguments, you know, I started blaming myself. At one point, I was blamed for the entire cause of all the violence and aggression by both her and him. And that's when I was first told that I should probably move out. So that didn't quite set well with me ever. And it's my, whether it's the anxiety or depression that makes me remember things constantly about that kind of part of my past, it's never left. And it's always bothered me. And it's something I wish I could let go of. But, of course, my brain decides, hey, you remember this? Yeah, that sucked, didn't it? Let's play this back over and over for about a day.
Yeah, I hate those.
Especially bad with people that are close to you when they bring up that aggression. My stepdad, when he first came into our lives, I want to preface this now before I say this. He is a great man. He has grown a lot and has become somebody I trust and respect. So I want to throw that out there. He is better than what I'm about to tell you.
And that's good. I like knowing that he's gotten past whatever demons he had to fight before.
So my stepdad grew up in an abusive household. His parents abused him. They, not physically but emotionally. I mean, physically too, because I was back during the days of corporal punishment. Like his idea of, so when I was growing up with him when we were young, he came into my life when I was about 10, 11. His idea of discipline was a belt.
Yeah.
If you were really bad, a studded belt.
Oh my god.
That's how he was raised. That's what was used on him. That's what he used on others.
Is that somebody driving?
No idea. But he grew up in a household where his parents basically, you know, if they were angry, they beat him. If he did something wrong, they beat him. If they didn't beat him, they were yelling at him.
Yep.
So he was not a nice person to be around for probably the first 5 years that he was in my life. But once he saw how that was affecting my brother and I, because it was destroying us, he realized, oh shit, I'm being the person that I hate. I'm being, you know, I'm doing exactly what they did to me, to these two kids that I've, you know, taken on the role of the father for. And that really woke him up and, you know, made him realize I can't do this. But it took him some soul searching to get over, because once you have that kind of seed of just anger inside of you, especially if it's planted in you when you're a kid, it's hard to get over that, because you don't even realize what you're doing until suddenly you're sitting there with a belt that has blood on it and you're going, what the hell did I just do? Now again, I want to put this out there. He immediately dropped that belt and, you know, hugged us and said, "I am so sorry." That's kind of it's almost like a possession, like a demonic possession. Like it just
Yeah.
when you have that kind of anger in you, that rage, you sometimes just lose control.
Yeah, I think my dad mentioned it similar to that. It was akin to like just standing back and watching yourself doing these things and not being able to stop.
Yeah.
And
Kinda-
for him, the doctor called it raging. And it was this just explosive reaction to the smallest things. And the belt would come out, or dude, this man's hand was
Yeah.
worse than any belt that I could ever think of. It was like being spanked with a rock.
Actually, that kind of sounds like my brother right now. He does not hit anybody, but he wrecks his own stuff on a fairly regular basis at the most mild inconvenience.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
I can't.
tell you how many keyboards and monitors I broke when I was doing gaming.
Wow.
Holy crap! I went through
That's
hundreds of dollars a
yeah,
month.
physical violence, yelling, screaming, those kinds of things are definitely a big trigger for my PTSD. It's like it's been so bad that if I hear somebody coming up the stairs, my heart starts to race and I just kind of freeze in place and stare at the door, waiting for
Yeah.
somebody to bust it down. So,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
it's almost like a drug when you start doing that kind of stuff. You
Mhm.
get addicted to the release that you feel when you start raging like that.
Really?
And yeah, because like for me at least, when I first started realizing I had an issue, like it started out small. Like I would slam my desk, I'd shout at my teammates. I would, throw a mouse, and then that kind of like dopamine kick of releasing that anger out
Mhm.
becomes almost like a cycle where you're like you need more and more of it to kind of release that anger, and it becomes habit, and it becomes almost like an addiction where you're addicted to lashing out.
Oh.
uh, that's why when people say like, oh well, at least he doesn't, like when somebody's you ever heard somebody talk about somebody who has anger issues and it's like, oh well, at least he doesn't hit anybody, he just like slams his desk or whatever.
Oh, no, that still
That
definitely affects people.
Well, not just that, it's a behavior that they've learned and they've gotten into the habit of.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to shift from that into hitting someone or even hurting yourself. Because
Yeah.
I've known people that have anger issues that will just like beat their leg, or like like me, I punched the door until I damn near broke my fist. Um, it it feels good to lash out when you're angry, which is a problem.
Yeah.
So finding a way to kind of compartmentalize and just kind of like break down that anger without lashing out is super important. For me, I just have to take a few deep breaths and like think back to how I used to be, and think back to the people I hurt and just go, okay, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt myself. Calm down. And it's hard, but it's a struggle, man. Like you never really get over that kind of anger.
Mm.
Especially when Kay is shooting you in the back when she's on your team and supposed to be having your back. Love
You
you,
take that
Kay.
lying down?
Now it's fun. But yeah, no, it's if anybody somebody who lashes out and like slams stuff around like that,
Yeah.
it only gets worse if they continue doing that.
Hi, Peach. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I totally filled in the wrong color on this section.
I wouldn't know. I'm colorblind.
Does color blindness make you angry? I'm kidding.
Yes. I'd say all I can see is red, but I can't see red, so
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
That's not okay.
Man, I got so angry I just saw red. Really? Did it fix your color blindness?
I'd like to say hello to Mr. Panther at this time.
Hi, sweetie.
Hello.
How are you feeling, by the
Hello.
way?
Less mucusy, very medicine-y.
Well, at least it's less mucusy.
Yeah, no, it's breathing is nice.
Yeah. I know the feeling. Welcome to the stream. We've been talking about anger, aggression, experiences where we've had anger issues or where we've witnessed other people with anger issues, family members, such like that. Do you have any story that you would like to share?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of angry people. I know people who are, it seems, angry by trade. One person in particular, I will give no names, but this person does seem to have this almost necessity to have something that they are upset or angry about, and it gets to the point where if there isn't a problem, drama will be created so that there is a problem, so that this person has something to be upset about,
Interesting.
and all that does is constantly make everybody around them have to be on their toes, and like even when things are good, people are always just sort of tiptoeing around this person. So
That whole walking on eggshells thing so as not to set them off.
yeah, although generally around my group of people, that very quickly devolves into we don't really care. If you're just gonna be upset anyways, we're gonna keep on just living our lives, and you can just be upset alone.
That's a way to deal with it, yeah. Peach is in the chat, and she says, when I was younger and even know I tend to speak before I think, or even now I tend to speak before I think. I feel bad afterwards, but it's more about how I said it than what I said. Yes, I have been there before, and it's been how I said and what I said has given some regrets there.
Yeah.
No, I can.
Super easy just to, in the heat of the moment, say some stuff that's just really heinous that you would never, think to say normally.
Right.
But
And on that note, angry children can pretty much hit you in the hardest spot, from what I've been told.
well, that's because children are evil, evil creatures sent by Satan to punish us. Also,
Yeah.
they have no filters. They, Mommy, look at the fat man. Thanks, kid. That makes me feel real good. Yeah, as kids don't know. They don't have any filter.
Yeah.
But that means they also have the worst insults because they just say whatever they think.
This is true.
It's almost worse because it's not an insult; it's just an observation, and it's just like, "Ow."
Yeah, that's fair.
Mommy, why is he so ugly? Oh, God.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
All right.
There was this one little girl who I used to babysit, and she came up. She was real sweet some of the time, like most of the time. But she had some moments where she said some hateful stuff. She came up and like sat next to me on the sofa where I was, and rested her head on my stomach. And this was before I put on quite a bit of weight, actually. I was only, mildly overweight at the time, but she just smiled real sweet, looks up at me and says, "Are you pregnant?" I was just like, ow,
Oh.
why?
Damn.
I was 14.
Damn.
So yeah, needless to say, I didn't babysit her anymore.
Alright. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know about angry children, but as far as kids saying the darndest thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my daughter, when she was like 2, she was hanging out with me and one of my roommates, and my roommate was playing this little game with her that I used to play, which was "Where is this person?" And she was like, well, where's your mommy? And she's like, "Mommy's at work." And she's like, "Well, okay, where's your daddy?" and she looks at me and she goes, "Daddy's right here." And then my roommate looks at me and she goes, "And where's Mickey?" And my daughter goes, "I'm right here. Do you need glasses?"
Damn.
And yeah, no, the chick got really angry about it. And I was like, "Look, you can't be upset that you just got sassed by a 2-year-old because you just asked her a really obviously dumb question."
Yeah.
That's funny.
One thing I care about toddlers is that, you know how a lot of people think what would happen if toddlers don't have the filter? They just do it.
Yeah.
They're OGs all the way.
They're a lot like a certain president in that way.
But we won't
Politics.
go into
They're
that.
fun!
Hey, I'm not saying who. But anyways.
Yeah.
But we're saying who. Yeah, that's right.
Were any of you like severely angry or like aggressive as children though?
Yeah.
After my dad died, I was depressed and I lashed out. A lot of rage against. So
Dude.
I grew up very religious. And then my dad fell ill and
Oh,
passed
hi.
away. And that kind of ruins any love of religion.
Yeah.
If you're sitting there praying your ass off and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I lashed out. I got kicked out of church 3-4 times. I got banned from Sunday school.
Oh wow.
Heard. Not
I
me
got
for that.
detention left and right. Like, got into fights a lot. But I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's an anger issue so much as just not dealing well with loss of a father.
Well, in this case, I think it's semantics because when you don't know how or don't know what you're supposed to do to be able to cope with things, anger is typically what happens, either anger or severe depression. So
It's really easy to reach for anger because everyone's been able to experience disappointment or that sort of feeling where you're just like, I can't get this, I can't make it cohere, I can't make it work the way I need it to. And it's really easy to tap into that when you're dealing with anything else you can't understand.
yeah.
I think that's why anger is such a prevalent issue. It's so easy just to turn to anger, like, because everybody understands anger. Everybody, and like I said, it feels good to lash out when you're in that moment. Now, obviously, afterwards you feel like an ass.
I mean,
Like-
most people do.
Yeah. But like my wife, for example, she has anxiety issues, and one of the things that we've had to kind of deal with is that when she gets super anxious, she lashes out at me because she doesn't know how to cope with it in her brain, so she gets nasty with me. And obviously she apologizes as soon as she realizes it. But that's, it's kind of a common thing I've seen, like when your body just can't, or when your mind just can't deal with something, you're either going to get angry or you're going to start crying or your body just kind of goes into autopilot, and anger is such an easy base emotion that we see it a lot.
Yeah.
I agree with all that.
Man, I should have got into psychology, shit.
Maybe. I don't know. What does it mean when you tend towards laughter in those situations instead?
That's manic. No, I'm kidding.
Yep. No, mania.
Oh.
That's actually.
Oh,
that
really?
is-
Yeah.
which, again, it's just your body not knowing, like your mind not knowing how to deal with stress, so it just goes into, oh crap, I got to do something, and like I've had moments where like I'm so depressed that I just start laughing and then crying and then laughing and then crying for no reason.
Wow.
Yeah, I can see that. I usually hold off the crying part with like just steering into it and going, full whimsy.
Yeah, and that's actually a really common thing.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Well, I said it earlier today at work. Learn something new every day.
Hey,
Mhm.
humans
That's
are
true
weird,
enough.
man.
Gosh, I hope to.
Yeah, boring life otherwise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
like I
much.
always say, if you're not learning, you're
Oh.
dead.
Oh crap.
Yeah, no, humans are weird. Our bodies don't know how to react to life.
Jasper,
I mean, like
back
our
up.
bodies do, our brains don't. Like our bodies are great at reacting to stuff. Like when it, like you put your hand in water for too long and it wrinkles up, so you get better traction because your body's just like, oh, I guess we're underwater now.
Yeah,
Fair point.
yeah,
Your mind doesn't know how to react to things.
yeah. There you go.
Enough of that then.
Oh man, have I told y'all lately how much I love having this like group chat? It makes the stream just kind of fly by. Not that I don't want to stream, but it's just when it's just me talking to nobody.
Oh,
just
no,
feels
I
so
super
awkward.
understand.
Do what?
Is that all we are to you? A fast forward button? I see how it is.
No, that's not what I mean.
No, I super understand, man.
But it's also nice to have other people's input as well, especially on topics like this. And that's why I love you guys so much, because you are so open and capable of articulating these things that a lot of people aren't able to. And it's giving words where people are failing to create those words.
Oh, totally, man. No, 90% of my streaming life has been just me screaming into the internet for no reason. And man, just like having just somebody like sitting next to me making faces having somebody just sitting next to me making faces while I talk is amazing. It totally helps.
Yeah, I bet.
So like having a whole panel of people and being like, okay, today's discussion is the literal price of tea in China.
So, speaking of China, no,
Oh.
I'm kidding. We're not going into politics.
No.
No, thank you.
Yeah, we already had this discussion earlier anyway.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Which one am I going for?
Yes.
As usual.
Oh,
Look,
there
man,
it is.
I never claimed to be useful, okay?
Free crap.
You're useful.
As a target? What?
Oh.
I'm
Wow.
target.
Ooh, shots fired.
No, that was Kay earlier.
That's really bad in context of the target comment.
Shots fired
yeah.
at me.
At me? I don't shoot at Steven. Steven shoots at me.
We've got video evidence.
Speaking of
that it's
anger.
not true.
We have video evidence that it is true. I made a highlight of it.
Damn. How deep is this rivalry?
Only
It's a
in
healthy
PUBG.
rivalry. In
No.
GTFO. In
GTFO.
Oh, yeah.
We are back.
This little favorite paintings in it. Oh, sorry.
Oh man, or that Western game with the air guns.
Yes, I hate that game with a passion now.
I
I
love
suck
that
at it so
game.
much. Yeah, I know you do, Steven.
Again,
Both of you.
I wish I could show you guys how I used to be when I played competitive games.
No, thank you.
I want to know.
I don't want to
No.
see the angry.
Oh my god, you want to talk about some vitriolic stuff, man. I made people cry. I made people quit playing games. Like,
You make me cry and quit all the time.
yeah, but you don't count.
Yes, we wouldn't be friends if we didn't gently bully each other every day.
I was gonna say it is snappy
I'm telling my
tonight. Gosh.
therapist about you.
Welcome to the sanctuary where ball busting is an art form.
Not so much for the G rating.
Just call me
No, it's fine.
Picasso.
Ball busting is not PG, is not R or anything.
It's PG-13. As long as we stay in there, we're pretty good.
I feel like we.
Yeah, I've never
By the way,
touched it.
Steven, I am proud of you.
What did I do?
You didn't swear so much.
I've been trying so hard.
I'm proud of
As
you.
soon as the stream is over, we'll let you have it all out.
Yeah, there
He's
you go.
trying. And
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
because he doesn't want soap in his mouth.
Okay, you're not
I
helping.
don't care about soap.
I'm just saying, the F-bomb is a comma,
Yeah.
amongst my group. It
Comma.
could be an adjective.
Say
It could be a
that
verb. It
word.
could be an adverb.
Flarking, flarking,
F-bomb.
flarkers.
The F
Yeah, I was gonna say like,
like
or
the
isn't
letter
that
S
it's
for me.
unclip?
It's just
F the effing effers.
I don't use that word. That is foul language.
Liar and a half.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, anybody smell burning pants around here?
liar, liar. You're full of shit.
Interestingly,
There it
There
is.
you go.
There it is.
All right, God.
There it is.
No, that's PG. I can prove it. Well, put in a copy of the Goonies. Count how many times they say shit.
Yes,
That's
yes,
true.
this is
True.
true. But that was 80s and 90s rating system. It
now-
has changed.
So you're saying people got weaker?
And
Shush.
interestingly enough, the F word's not really one of those ones that I use in anger very often. It's usually as a very casual thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're
punctuation.
right.
Punctuation.
It just helps.
I use it when I get
it's like,
scared.
Yes,
for
you
me,
do.
it's just verbal. It's like verbal lubrication. It just kind of like flows the conversation around.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I've got a whole group of people where we'll just be like, "Hey, you with the face, F you," and we know that means I love you.
On next week's episode, the actual connotation of swearing.
Dude, don't get me started. I'll go on a whole spiel about the F word and how it's useful in every possible daily use.
Look, I've heard the
Next
whatever
week,
that thing
you know, with
is.
the contestant.
George
No,
Carlin.
seriously, have you ever watched the Penn and Teller's bullshit about swearing?
Yes. I love Penn and Teller's BS show.
I just love Penn and Teller. That's real.
Yeah, that too.
They're fun.
Get in the Pokeball, you fat bastard.
Don't talk
Thank
about
you.
Gray like that.
No, it's an Alpha Rhyperion. I think I saw it.
Look, I've done really
boy.
well to not scream or anything, like, or freak out.
Oh, you've been playing Layers of Fear this whole time?
Yeah, I've been trying.
Do any
Guys,
games
I am
make you
so
angry,
looking forward
Kay?
to that new Outlast game. I cannot wait for all of us to scream in a group.
Yay.
One game that makes me angry, and it's so silly, but it's one of the Super Mario games like that you can play on the Wii or something where you have to bubble if you're about to fall. Infuriates me.
I hate that one.
Oh,
I
Baby
mean,
Mario.
the rage that I feel over it, because I can speedrun in Mario, like I can just sit and play. You know what I mean? Like just I've played it since I was like 5 or 6. Like I love
Damn.
Mario. So whenever I play with other people, like I'm, and especially when you've got like 4 people playing on the screen, it needs to be cohesive. Actually, I got a little mad last night playing GTFO because I'm used to like having some kind of structure and uniform,
Okay.
and we had cheese
Yeah.
and red,
Oh
and
no.
I was. Look, hold on. Let me.
I so
I
I
was
had to
getting-
just kind of start playing with Kay and just kind of like leaving Cheese and Red to do their own thing.
Oh, it
Oh
infuriated
man,
me.
old cheesy easy.
We're very.
Cheesy peasy.
I love Cheese to death.
strategic.
I do. I love him. I swear I
yeah.
do.
No, I do. He's a wonderful guy, and I would take a bullet for him.
I wish I could say the same,
I mean,
but I wouldn't
not
let him
like-
get shot.
Not like
I'd take a bullet for him in like the arm, maybe.
yeah, like not like the ass
Oh.
cheek, maybe. Like not like
Yeah, like I'd call 911 for him. We're not there yet. Our friendship is not there yet. I
not
would
like,
call 911 for him to make sure he wouldn't.
Wow.
But I'm not taking the bullet. We're not there in friendship.
it's not like me
Anyway,
and Gray where I dive in front of a firearm for Gray.
I mean, there are people that I would
But-
take a bullet for. But
Oh, thanks,
anyway, I didn't say you. Anyway,
I know it was implied.
Hey,
no.
Oh my
But,
god, you guys.
Like, this goes the same way, kind of like with that. I usually don't rage with games. Games are my outlet. I really suffer with anxiety
Oh.
and depression. So for me, like, and I like to be scared, although y'all may not think that, I genuinely enjoy it because I have control over this. Whereas I don't have control over my anxiety and depression, although I'm medicated.
That's something
So-
else I've noticed is horror and things like that seem to be something that people with anxiety flock to.
And that's usually why. I've really like read up on it, and especially like a lot of people with anxiety or depression have like a favorite like show they focus on, and they don't watch like a lot of other things because they already know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's comfort in that, like, okay, I know what's going to happen. Nothing's going to stray from it. So I really enjoy like just horror movies, shows, games. That's one of my outlets, but don't like. And I guess because I find so much comfort in it, and I take my games. I mean, I don't want to say serious, but when I'm wanting to win something, like, I have that drive. So when people like mess around and it's like, look, I want to get past this. Like we played GTFO so long yesterday and we got so like frustrated with the struggle that whenever they wanted to play, and when they wanted to play again, I already knew what we were getting into, but I was like, okay, well, Steven, like he leads. And I thought, they'll listen to him. They didn't.
No, they won't.
And it was just not the game I would enjoy playing with them because
we won though.
we won.
Wait, y'all got past
barely.
the level?
No,
Yeah.
it was just level 1. It was just level 1 though. So it wasn't like it was we could probably get that wave projector thing in our sleep at this point. But
Yeah.
it's just like I got really irritated because it's like my outlet, this is my thing, and like I know sometimes games are fun for other people and that's something I have to work with, like, okay, this is also for enjoyment, but like at the end of a hard day, like I want to be immersed in something.
It's your release. It's your escape.
Yes. And so it's also hard because the friendship I have with Cheese is more of like a frenemy thing. Like he knows to push my buttons. And I mean, I've told Gray, I've made comments back like, hey man, like this messes with my mental health. Like don't do this, and I don't think he still understands, but I've told Steven and I've told Gray, and I think I've even told you, like, he stresses me out, man, and our friendship, like, so add that into, like, them messing around in a game that, like, I'm not hyper fixated on GTFO, but I really, really enjoy it. It's probably my top 3 right now.
Yeah.
So it's
good,
like,
yeah.
it's my escape. So don't, like, I have other words I'd really want to use, but don't mess with it. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, just let
I
me escape. And so add Cheese being
y'all
what he
keep
is.
talking. I've got a knock at my door.
So it's something else I have to navigate.
No.
I don't know. Like, I don't rage when it comes with him. I actually feel like I kind of back down.
Yeah, you do.
I don't feel like I'm an aggressive person. I mean, I've been told otherwise all my life, but I don't feel like
You can get kind of snippy.
I don't mean to.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Like
Like I
snippy.
A little bit of aggression's fine.
I get like with you, I just like we ball bust. I feel like there's a difference. Like we pick at each other.
There's a major difference.
There's like I pick
Hey,
on
you
you
busted my
guys.
balls over here.
Like I pick on you guys, you pick on me. Like we just have like and we laugh and we have a good time. I don't take
Just
it
what I needed.
serious.
Yeah, no, we don't get that.
And so yeah, I mean, obviously I can get snippy, and I don't mean to. That's never ever ever my intention. But with him though, it's kind of like I get snippy and a little aggressive sometimes if I've had enough, but I do back down.
I am back.
I don't know because I feel like he's aggressive, so I don't know how to navigate that.
Well,
So
perhaps
out of my comfort games.
Perhaps a communication session is necessary where you've got just like a group of us or something. But I don't want to feel like we'd be ganging up on him or anything like that either. So, but communication is a huge deal, and I know it can be very hard when you have anxiety. Yeah, and it's definitely something I struggle with as well. So
it's just, and I don't want to make it awkward for everybody. You know what I mean? Like I don't want it to be.
We're all friends here.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, but I don't want to ever. My intentions are never to make it awkward, like for everybody to be together because there's tensions between somebody, or like because I know while this is my escape, like it can be, it's a community for everybody, and it's an escape everybody in a different way.
Right. And I'll be honest, there's a time I had to pull him aside and say, hey, what you said to me was, it hit deeper than you may have thought. And he backed off. So, I mean, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I think that might just be it.
He
He's
may just
not
not
good
know when
with-
to stop.
Yeah, that's that's fine.
Yeah.
We still love our cheese.
Yeah. I like cheese. And not to ignore anybody in the chat, Peach was saying that games that make her angry is Paladins, Overwatch, League of Legends, WoW, and Battlefield 4.
Wow.
Oh my God,
I feel
competitive
that in my
games.
soul.
Yes.
All competitive
Wow.
games.
Oh my god.
Peach, I 100% agree with you. There's a reason I don't play games competitively seriously anymore. Because it used to be to the point where I would have to just give people a warning, like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna get salty. I'm gonna get toxic. If I go too far, just tell me, because I'm not nice."
toxic.
Yeah, when I was playing World of Warcraft, we were doing raids on a regular basis, and that was practically like a second job at one point.
Yeah.
I had to study strategies and everything because I was one of the tanks, and just it became work, and I didn't want that in a game. I just wanted to game just leisurely. But at that point
if you're a tanker or DP, I feel like for you, I couldn't imagine because I was DPS. So if you're
that's
a tank,
easy.
right? You just sit back and you just can kick your feet up and chill. But tank or
you have
healing,
to dodge. But tank has to memorize
Hey.
everybody's role.
I'm a support main. I don't want to hear it, man. So for those of you who've played League of Legends, I'd be playing bot lane as a support, and my team would go off and die top lane, and they yell at me saying I didn't heal them. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm on bot lane. I got banned from League on that account.
Oh wow. Peach says, for me to play those games, I have to have a dedicated party. I can't play with randoms. We'll say something so rude, and she DPSs all the
I'm
way.
playing it while we're doing the
Yes,
Tuesday
girl.
art stream
Wait,
and
is that
mental
the
health
pronouns?
stuff. Oh, why? Did you want to join?
I was just checking up on
I
you.
said
You
yes,
inquired
girl,
her
then I
at the church
realized
match. I'm
pronouns
sorry, I
actually
didn't
need
mean
to
to
be
interrupt you.
No,
Making sure you was all right.
Peach,
No,
I'm
just making
100%
sure that
on your
everybody
side.
else is also in the chat doing okay and things like that. That's the weekly deal of us making sure we're all squared away with one another.
Yeah.
And that's always to the benefit of the community as a whole that we're all now part of.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You gonna get his hat this time?
No, I don't think I'm going to kill him.
No.
I think I'm going to take it from the garden. Then come back and tell Reed Thompson I'm running you out of town. Adelaide's taking over.
Yeah, no,
You're gonna take it from the garden.
Brad.
And then take it from him?
Ray, you know
No, I'm
Brad.
going to run
Brad,
him out of town.
Hang on a sec.
He's in one town.
Hey,
That
Chef.
way I figure everyone's the safest here in town
Hold on.
versus out
Yeah.
in wherever they are.
But he dies
Hey, Chef.
no matter what you do to him.
Yeah.
I think eventually down.
If you kill him yourself, you get the hat.
Alex.
I moved him.
Oh, okay.
He can come back when he's ready.
Yeah. Yeah. When they start talking games, they really start talking games.
Yeah. But no, Gray, you know Brad. There have been times where we would be playing competitive games like Rocket League or League of Legends, and I just would get so angry because he's not at the same skill level I am with those kind of games, but we still play together 'cause he's a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just lash out. But there'd be times I have to just pause and just go, dude, I am so sorry. Because again, once I get into the competitive mode, you can just tell that that switch flips, and I'm just like a different person.
Hmm.
Alright, guys, it has been fun, but I have to get to some work. I will be back around later tonight.
No worries. Thank you again for joining. It's always a
Yep.
pleasure to have you and everybody else join in and chat.
Much love, much love.
And it's actually 8:30, so as soon as I'm done with this group of little pixel pieces here, I'm going to be wrapping it up.
All right,
So-
I'll catch you later.
Bye, Steven.
Peace.
So, as a general wrap up for tonight, for those of you joining in late or whatnot, the stream's mental health chat topic was anger, aggression. I know we got a little off topic, but you know what? That's cool too, because there's nothing wrong with some general discussion and things like that with people that you are comfortable with. So, does anybody else have anything that they want to share before we head out? Any special words to the mental health community or anything like that?
If I had anything special I wanted to say, and I've been muted because you can hear it's a little loud out here, but if I had anything special that I wanted to say, it's just you got to remember that of all the emotions that are easy to access, anger, sadness, even joy, anger is the most destructive to people outside of yourself. So you really have to be careful. There are times and places where it's reasonable to stand up for yourself and to just express that you're unhappy with things. But for the most part, anger needs to be controlled and metered because otherwise you're just going to break relationships in a way that you can't fix.
Yeah. And if it happens to be a side effect of anything that you're going through, whether withdrawals, depression, medication changes, things like that, reach out to your support group. Find a support group. Again, you can always come to the Sanctuary. It is an 18 and up server, and there are a lot of adult conversations that happen, but we are very welcoming to anybody who needs someone to talk to. And I will go ahead and link the Discord again for anybody who feels that they need a group to join to even just go rant. We do have the safe spaces section, and there's a place where you can just rant away at anything that's been bothering you. There's a warm fuzzies section. You can post cute little memes or things that make people feel good. A little message to cheer people up. Anything that would bring some happiness to someone's life. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and call it here. And I thank you again for joining my stream. This is Living Dead Cat, and this has been our mental health talk with me doing art on the side. It seems to be that's going to be the primary from now on.
It seems pretty fun. I like it.
Yeah. So thank you again, everybody. And I'll see you next time. Bye.